Hi, I'm Dr. Leslie Tay. Welcome back to my kitchen. Today, we're going to make a Thai dish with a Japanese ingredient, Singapore style. Okay, first up, we got to prepare our prawns. I've got some nice prawns from the wet market today. They're quite a nice big size. What we want to do is we're going to slice the prawn into half, and I'm going to show you the best way to do it. You start with the bottom of the prawn, alright, and you put your serrated knife just in between, halfway between the legs of the prawn, and you start slicing like that. So easy. Okay, here you got to remove the vein. Okay, and then that's one prawn done. What you want to do is to slice the prawn until it's almost at the last segment, but you don't want to slice it all the way through because later on we want to use it to display. If you don't have time, you can always put the prawn in whole, but I find that when you halve it, it opens up the prawn so that all that nice tomali from the head will go into the vermicelli. All the prawns have been halved, so what we're going to do is to add a little bit of salt and a little bit of bicarbonate. This will help to keep the prawns nice and juicy later when you steam it in the hot pot. Be very gentle because you want to keep that tomali in the head because that's where the yumminess is. So as you can see, I've arranged all the prawns like this, and later on it's going to be put on top of the hot pot. We don't want to cook it too early because we don't want to overcook the prawn. Now, you want to leave this in the fridge for at least 15 minutes to half an hour while you prepare all the rest of the stuff. We'll need a bit of belly pork. Actually, they just use pork fat for this dish, but I feel that when you're doing this at home, right, you can use belly pork and it will turn out really nice. Of course, if you have zhu yu zha, which is the deep fried pork lard, right, that's the best lah. But not all of us like to do this at home. So this is a shortcut method where you can infuse the pork flavor into the vermicelli without too much effort. So you just want to cut this pork into thin slices like this. Just a little bit of salt. So we're going to render the fat as well as crisp up the pork later. Then what else we need to do? We need some white and black pepper. Right? This is whole white and black peppercorn. Are you using whole peppercorn because you want it to be a little bit rough? So just grind it. There's a lot of peppercorn, right? Because this dish, really one of the essential flavors in this dish is the pepper. I will also be needing some garlic. Now I managed to get this nice little Thai garlic. These are small little garlic, but if you can't get hold of these Thai garlic, you can use the normal garlic, right? With normal garlic, you want to take off the skin. But this small little one, I'm just going to bruise them and then going to fry together with the skin. The skin of the garlic actually has a lot of flavor. So this is the coriander plant. I'm sure you all have eaten a lot of this stuff, right? Here is where the flavor is. So we need maybe about 5 of these roots. When you see all these recipes in Thailand, they will ask you to add fish sauce, oyster sauce, soy sauce in order to get that oomph. But today, there's a shortcut. The Yosenabe sauce by Kikkoman. So this sauce is very versatile. It's got that umami, all the umami ingredients already incorporated into it. So you only need this one sauce to fry vegetables. You can make chawan mushi with it. Of course, making hot pot or nabe, which is what Yosenabe is all about. Okay, we'll start by heating up the oil. Put in all the pork belly. So this is a shortcut way of doing my zhu yu zha. You get all the nice flavor of the pork into the oil, and then later on putting all the other stuff. Wow, look at that. So you can see all the yumminess in there. Alright, so the next step is to add in the garlic. Next we'll put in the coriander roots. And finally the peppercorn, which we ground just now. Now you can leave some behind. If you have kids, right, they might find it too spicy. But if you like it more spicy, you can add in more of the black peppercorn. Next step, I'm going to deglaze it with a bit of Chinese wine. And I add in some water. This is vermicelli, which I have just soaked in water for 10 minutes and drained. Now, of course, the secret ingredient, Kikkoman Yosenabe sauce. I think it's time for the prawns to make their appearance. Make sure there's enough water because you want to steam the prawns. You don't want the tang hoon to get too dry, that there's no steam. You want to gently now steam the prawns and preserve its tenderness. Alright, while we are waiting for the prawns to steam, let's talk about this bottle. This bottle is very iconic, lor. When you look at it, right, even if it's just a silhouette, you know it's soy sauce bottle. But when I was young, I never realized it was Kikkoman. This is world famous, you know, this bottle and the soy sauce. Let's have a check. Look at that. It's done. So we just garnish with a bit of sesame oil. I'll make it extra fancy. Goong Ob Woon Sen with Japanese ingredients in Singapore style. Alright, it's time to eat. Look at that. Yummy. Wow. So those flavors come out. So good. 就是这个味道。Okay, so I hope you enjoy my recipe. Until next time, happy cooking.